There's a significant amount of blood next to the bed, too. Decent. More than just vomit.
Oh, my knees. You going? You jumped the fence. Head back towards Collinwood.
What happened inside that house in Rome, Georgia, in the span of a single November night in 2022 stunned an entire community. Two best friends walked in. Only one walked out. And the one who walked out spent the next several hours pretending everything was perfectly fine, right up until the walls started closing in around him. By the time police found what was left behind in that bedroom, there was no version of this story that ended well. Not for Aaron's family, not for Brandon's parents, and certainly not for Brandon Reiner himself.
All right, Brandon. I told you earlier you were being held for the obstruction from where you ran from the officers earlier. Now you're going to be charged with murder, aggravated assault, obstruction, and hindering investigation of the murder.
On a cold November morning in 2022, officers in Rome, Georgia, responded to a call about an abandoned vehicle. Not on the shoulder of a road, not in a parking lot, at the bottom of a creek.
Y'all don't think he's in there?
No, I didn't argue one there.
Oh, okay. Son's name's Aaron Davis. Supposed to be coming to Rome to see some friends and going to Alabama to see his girlfriend.
I don't think he made it there.
Nah. I wonder where he's at. Why his car down there?
Crazy thing is, there's nothing. I mean, there was no acceleration. It's almost like it just
Broke off in there or something.
Yeah. Didn't go all the way up in park or something. Yeah, I mean, there's lights on like it's, but it ain't running.
I rode over here to see what was going on. He was out there changing out the trash.
When officers ran the plates, the car came back registered to a 21-year-old named Aaron Davis. And the moment that name came back, things shifted. Because Rome, Georgia is a small town, and some of these officers already knew the family. A call went out to Aaron's father.
I gotta go up to visit his girlfriend in Alabama after that.
Okay. Yeah, can you see if you maybe can get a hold of him and check in with him, see where his car is supposed to be?
So you just found the car abandoned there?
Yeah, it's actually off in a little ditch. We're in the process of getting it out. I don't think there's anybody in it right now.
The news was delivered carefully. The car had been pulled from the creek, nobody was inside, and nobody knew where Aaron was. His father gave police the little he knew.
Aaron's girlfriend, she's sitting in a car outside the daughter, but the last conversation they had was at 9:57 p.m. on Thursday.
That he'd be coming. They've already been discussing that he'd be coming over Friday morning.
Okay.
And so she texted, and then he never said. He was like, "Yeah," they were really excited that was going to happen. And then
Where is she at?
she was outside.
Oh, no, where?
She was in Gadsden.
Okay. So that's where he was heading. Is that correct?
Right. So, I mean, he and Brandon have been friends for years, and so this being kind of a midway point, they just go up here to hang out before and didn't have over there.
Okay. When did he leave? Did he leave y'all's house?
Yeah. So it was Thursday afternoon at some point. We don't know exactly when.
Maybe around 2:30.
Okay.
You don't know what that Karen is?
No. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to keep the name straight and everything. So
you don't know where our son is?
No.
His son had driven to Rome the previous night to visit a longtime friend. After that, the plan was to head north to Alabama to see his girlfriend. A simple weekend, a familiar route. Except Aaron had never arrived in Alabama. His phone was going straight to voicemail, and now his car sat silent in a creek bed with the lights still burning. A missing persons report was filed. An investigation officially began, and police already had one name at the top of their list, the friend Aaron had driven 60 miles to visit. a young man named Brandon Reiner. Before we go any further, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now. We cover real crime stories every single week, and you absolutely do not want to miss where this one goes. Drop a comment below and tell me, at what point do you think police realized something was seriously wrong? I want to know. Now let's get into it. Police placed the call, and Brandon answered quickly.
Hey, I'm Lieutenant Sailor's Rome Police. You doing all right today?
Yes, I am. I'm looking for my friend right now.
Yeah, that's what I was calling about. You hadn't heard from him?
I have not. I've tried calling him and it's just gone straight to voicemail. And I heard he was at Heritage Park, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm looking around. Do you guys know where the car was?
Yeah, it was in a ditch over there.
He told them he had not heard from Aaron at all, and that every call he tried went straight to voicemail. He even claimed to be actively searching for his friend at that very moment, walking near the area where the car had been found, worried, looking around.
When's the last time you saw Aaron?
I saw him last night.
About what time?
Well, we started drinking around like 12 noon. He started throwing up pretty bad. He told me to leave him alone. I guess I woke up around like 1 or 2 a.m. And that's when I saw that his car was gone.
All right. Well, if y'all hear from him, let us know, okay?
Yeah, thank you for the help, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
It was exactly what you would want to hear from a concerned best friend. Warm, cooperative, almost perfect. But a phone call only tells you so much. So a few hours later, officers showed up unannounced at Brandon's front door, and this time they needed to look him in the eye.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Officer Garner with the Rome Police Department. We're following up on all this. Can you walk me through what's going on? Just make sure we're all on the same page.
We started drinking around 12 yesterday.
Yeah, it's you and Aaron, right?
Yeah, me and Aaron.
Okay. Anyone else with you guys?
And went to bars, and I had bought some red wine.
Yeah.
And came back here, started drinking red wine. He doesn't drink too often, so
Yeah.
he had gone upstairs and was just puking everywhere to the toilet. Was like standing up and puking for some reason. And I went downstairs and he told me that he doesn't need any help. I went downstairs, dropped a bottle, cut my pinky, and I went to the urgent care this morning, took a shower, went to bed.
Okay.
And then woke up 1 to 2 a.m. and his car's gone.
It was a clean story. Each detail connected logically to the next. Honestly, at that moment, nothing about it was impossible. A light drinker gets too intoxicated, gets sick, and in some impaired state, wanders off and ends up losing his car in a creek. Stranger things have happened. So officers asked if they could take a look around the house, and Brandon, without a single moment of hesitation, said yes. That was his first mistake.
We're still trying to find him. I don't know. You know, he may just be staying at a hotel, sleeping off whatever happened last night. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean he's in danger or anything like that. Do you have any problem with us checking inside the house? No problem at all? No ferocious iguanas or anything? You never know, man. People have all kinds of pets.
The house seemed normal enough at first glance, right up until they reached the upper floor. Several doors were locked, specifically the bedroom where Aaron had supposedly spent the night getting sick. Brandon was brought in to unlock them.
You mind coming in here with me so you can just show me where I'm going and all that?
Yeah.
Just makes it a little bit easier. The bathroom is up there that he was up chucking in. I got you. Oh, Lord. Is that what's in the laundry right now, I guess? Okay.
And the moment that door swung open, the officers noticed the smell first. Sharp, chemical, the unmistakable scent of heavy-duty cleaning products used in a confined space and used recently. Cleaning supplies were scattered throughout the room. Not just a bottle or two, but excessive amounts. The kind of quantity that does not suggest someone tidying up after a sick house guest. The kind of quantity that suggests someone working frantically, under pressure, trying to make something completely disappear.
There's a significant amount of blood next to the bed, too. Decent. More than just vomit all the way over here. Looks like it's been there a while, but he could have been throwing up blood, I guess. See all that? It's weird to be throwing up blood like that. Not to mention, if he had alcohol poisoning, he wouldn't have been able to get up and move around this morning. Especially at 2 or 3 in the morning. He's poured powder right there, too.
That's it right now.
Then, crouching near the edge of the bed, one of the officers went quiet. There was blood. A significant pool of it, dried deep into the carpet fibers. More blood near the wall, powder scattered across it, as though someone had tried to absorb or mask what had soaked into the floor. It had dried at the edges, but was still dark and dense at the center. And there was far, far too much of it to be explained by a cut finger or a bloody nose. Nobody said it out loud yet, but every officer standing in that room was thinking the same thing. Aaron Davis had not simply gotten drunk and wandered off into the night. Something violent had happened here, and someone had spent hours trying desperately to erase it. That someone was still standing right there in the house with them.
Oh, my knees. Keep going. Stay going. Now. You jumped the fence. Head back towards Collinwood.
While officers were still processing the scene upstairs, Brandon quietly drifted toward the back of the house. No sudden movement, no raised voice, just a young man slowly walking toward the back door, like he simply needed some air. And then he cleared the fence in one motion and hit the ground running. Police erupted into action. Officers flooded surrounding streets. A perimeter was thrown up across several blocks. Radios crackled with rapid updates as units swept through backyards and alleyways trying to catch a glimpse of him. But Brandon Reiner, the young man who had just spent the better part of an hour being perfectly cooperative, had vanished.
Go up to the house, get in the backyard. Possible 1043 suspect. I'm with you. Okay. Do you hear any dogs barking that way? Okay. He went this way. I don't know where he went after that.
For over an hour, every lead went cold. During the door-to-door search, one officer knocked on a neighbor's house and discovered something unexpected. The neighbor was on an active phone call with Brandon's father, Jeremy. The officer immediately got on the line.
Hey, sir, I'm Lieutenant Sailor from Police.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Reisner, the homeowner,
Yes,
and my Brandon's father.
Yeah, we're probably going to need to talk to Brandon. Do you know where he is?
No, I thought he was still at home. Now, earlier we had told him maybe drive around the areas where they normally hang out and try to look for him, for Aaron. Okay, we'll keep trying to get hold of him. We're still about an hour away, working our way there.
Jeremy had no idea where his son was. He still believed Brandon was at home. He was about an hour away, driving toward Rome, under the impression that his son had gone out to help search for Aaron. He sounded like exactly what he appeared to be in that moment, a father caught completely off guard, trying his best to help from the road. But that was about to change, because Jeremy was almost at the house, and when he walked through that door, he was going to find something that would shatter everything.
So I realize you might not be able to answer this question.
Probably don't know the answer. I'll try.
Is there suspicion that Brandon is involved in what, hurting Aaron or something?
There's suspicion that something happened in the home.
Beyond getting drunk and throwing up?
Well, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, honestly, a couple of officers have been in and just done a quick survey of the home, trying to figure out what's going on. And I've not been in with David because
They're lifelong friends.
hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah, he called us this morning around 9 or 10 to ask her about the bonnet upstairs and how to clean that up off.
And we called back after the boy's mom called us. We called back and said, when did I see my eyes? I guess you're up there in the night. So we went to look for him. Well, the photos were.
Mom knows where he's at. Mom. I want the mom.
So I'm going to go ahead and start.
Jeremy arrived before police could intercept him. He went inside the house, and within minutes, he found Brandon's phone, left behind, sitting in the house, as if it had been deliberately placed there, as if Brandon had made conscious choice to leave it for someone to find. Jeremy picked it up, and he read what was on it. Whatever those messages contained, they changed Jeremy completely. The man who had been open and fully cooperative, sharing information, answering every question, trying his best to assist, went quiet almost instantly. He refused to hand the phone over without a warrant. He told officers he needed to understand the full situation before making any decisions. He had shifted from grieving and confused father to protective parent in the time it takes to read a screen.
What's the status? All right, so first of all, I understand you found his cell phone. That's right. You want to turn that over to us?
Maybe.
Okay.
I do. My gut says yes, but at the same time,
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
We'll probably need to go through it and see at least maybe where he's been today. There is a significant amount of blood in that upstairs bedroom and on the carpet. But I wanted to be straight up with you. Not going to find that. Okay.
I appreciate that. Do you have a warrant that would include the phone?
No, we'd have to get one at some point, so we couldn't go into it without that. So
some text back and forth.
Maybe something helps, then, you know.
I know.
It's him, you know. But I can't promise you that. I don't,
no, I know.
Yeah, I don't know what all's in there, so.
I want to. I was, as
a father, I understand that.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to keep walking.
Officers noticed the change the moment it happened. Something on that phone had told Jeremy the truth, and the truth was clearly devastating. What investigators would later discover was that Brandon had left behind a collection of deeply disturbing written notes. They were dark, almost poetic in their violence, describing what he had done in chilling detail. Alongside them was something even more calculated, a to-do list, written out step by step, following the murder of his best friend. Vacuum the carpet, do the laundry, take a shower, send a specific message to Aaron's mother explaining why her son had gotten sick and left in the middle of the night. This was not panic. This was not a breakdown. This was someone who had done something terrible and then sat down to organize the cleanup, methodically, deliberately, one task at a time.
So he found the phone, tells us that he found the phone, but doesn't want to give it to us without a search warrant. Because he asked Randy about that. Because they needed a warrant to get into the phone. Well, he was telling Randy that there were texts in there about him asking if anyone had seen Aaron or anything like that. I wonder if those texts were sent since we've been here, though. He said he found it. I don't know. I wasn't out there when Randy got it from him. Yeah, he said he found it. He was talking to his wife on the phone. His wife is looking over near St. Mary's and all that, so maybe they've been up with their kid. I don't know.
He had to have done a lot of something here with the car. I think unless he went somewhere else to dump the body and then he just wanted to get rid of the car.
About an hour after the phone was found, Jeremy called police. He told them he was with Brandon and that Brandon was ready to turn himself in. 25 minutes later, a car pulled into the station parking lot. Brandon Reiner stepped out alongside both of his parents, his mother visibly broken, his father carrying the weight of a man who had just lived through the worst hour of his life. They walked in together, quietly. No drama, no spectacle. Just a family walking toward the worst moment they would ever face.
We're Brandon. Rachel. Jeremy. Thank you. Rachel, Jeremy, y'all can have a seat out here. I'm gonna take him back there, and we'll talk, man. Would you like to talk in private?
You need to send somebody out to find the body.
Okay. I'll be right back out with you, okay?
Brandon was secured immediately and brought into an interview room. He was read his rights, and the moment the detective asked him to speak, Brandon asked for a lawyer. He said nothing beyond that. Not a single word about Aaron, not a detail about the bedroom, not one thing that could find its way into a courtroom. Whatever else Brandon Reiner was, he was not careless. He understood exactly what silence could protect him from.
All right, like I was saying, I'm Detective York. I work here at the Rome PD, of course. Detective York, yep, that's me. So before we get started, got some paperwork you gotta fill out. So I'm gonna read you some stuff before we get started, okay? You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you are asked questions and have him with you during questioning.
I would like a lawyer.
You would like a lawyer, okay? All right, sit tight for just a minute.
So the detective turned his attention to Jeremy instead. And Jeremy, unlike his son, was willing to talk. He shared something critical, a location. He described an old cemetery nearby, down a road he could partially recall. He offered to help them find it. And with that, every available unit moved out into the dark.
Thank you.
There's a lot going on right now. Anything that we can do to help y'all right now.
Need to find that body. Take you out. Try to show you. I can try to show you.
You can try to show us
the general area, yeah. Okay. There's an old cemetery. And then you turn left. Trindle, something like Trindle. Okay. We can show you on that. Guy's body is likely there. He's mentally unstable. He has Tourette's since he was a kid, diagnosed as a kid. And with that comes OCD, and people say they have OCD one time, they don't understand. And so they live with that.
They found Aaron Davis buried in the back corner of the cemetery, in a secluded section hidden behind trees and thick overgrowth, far from any visible path or trail. He had not been left carelessly. He had been wrapped in the very bed sheets he had slept on inside Brandon's home and placed in a shallow grave, hidden, as if someone believed he might simply stay hidden forever. It was deliberate, calculated, the kind of thing that takes time, physical effort, and a frightening degree of composure to carry out. Aaron Davis had been murdered, and then his killer had wrapped him in sheets, buried him in the dark, walked back to the house, cleaned the room, written the notes, and prepared to tell the world a story about a friend who got too drunk and wandered off. The investigation was over. The only thing left now was to give Aaron's family the truth they deserved and make absolutely certain that justice followed. Officers made the drive to the Davis home. They sat down with Aaron's family and delivered the news that no parent should ever have to receive. Their son, the one who had just graduated college, the one with a road trip planned and a girlfriend waiting and the whole rest of his life stretched out in front of him, was gone, murdered by the person he had trusted since he was a child.
Many questions here. I don't know a whole lot because I'm not been here doing a lot of research. I think to be specific.
Why would he do that? Why you do that? We need my son. The family needs help. Oh my God.
Brandon Reiner's defense attempted to argue mental instability. His family disclosed that he had struggled for years with severe anxiety, OCD, and disturbing intrusive thoughts. That they had pulled him home from college specifically to stabilize him, to regulate his medications, to surround him with safety.
Brandon had brought him home from college because he was having anxiety attacks, he was having suicidal thoughts, he was having visions. Brought him home to make him safe. I get his medications right.
And while that history matters, and while mental illness is real and serious, it did not change what the evidence showed. It did not undo the planning, the cleaning, the notes, the body wrapped in bedsheets and buried in a cemetery. The court rejected the insanity plea. On July 18, 2024, Brandon Reiner stood before a judge and pleaded guilty to the murder and mutilation of Aaron Davis. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He will never leave. Aaron Davis was 21 years old. He had just graduated from Brigham Young University. He had a girlfriend who was waiting for him, a family who loved him deeply, and a future that was supposed to be just getting started. He drove 60 miles on a cold November night to celebrate with his best friend, and he never came home. That is the part that stays with you. Not the investigation, not the courtroom, not the sentence, just that. A young man who did absolutely nothing wrong, trusted the person he had known his whole life, and paid for that trust with everything he had. Rest in peace, Aaron. You deserved so much better than this.